10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Looks like we did have a broken link on that other video. It was causing all sorts of trouble, so hopefully this one is working nice and well. So welcome back. We've got Always in the house there, so it must be not going too bad. A big shout out. Okay, don't forget to repost this link. This is hopefully working pretty nicely there. It does look like it's working on X and YouTube. So actually I need to go back actually just to YouTube, but I'm pretty sure it's working okay. Don't forget to hit the repost there. We've got Fast Abdul in nice and early. I'm here for the tech again. Absolutely. That's pretty funny, dude. LFG. LFG for sure. We got Alan in the house there. It's back. Yeah. There's a storm, says Crypto Dan. Nice. All right, so everyone is back. The gang is back together again. Let me just open up the YouTube. We've got the X working well for the looks of it, so I think we're good to go. We're going to kick it back in to briefly cover the stock markets and go for there. So, stock market wise, we had, let me just come back here. So we had, obviously the markets were down except for NASDAQ, which was up 30 points. So that was kind of cool ahead of the Fed announcement. US dollar is slightly appreciated. And we've got West Texas down a little bit there on price, and gold up almost 0.5%. Silver, though, is up almost 5%. Silver absolutely on a tear, $61. So that's kind of where we summed up. The interest rate cut is coming. The interest rate meeting has started, and at the moment we've got a pretty high chance of interest rate cuts, and that is sitting at 86% right now, expecting a 25 basis point cut. And that meeting is already on, but we'll have that the Fed chair Jerome Powell give the announcement in about 20 hours. So that will be tomorrow. We'll know that by tomorrow. So bullish for crypto. Third rate cut, and we'll get the interest rates down to about 3.75% versus inflation, which is running at about 2.8, 2.9%. So still a bit of way to go for the rate cuts, but certainly heading in the right direction there. All right, which means, lower rates means more risk on, right? People have to search out riskier activities to get better yields if that's what they're after. And so that's kind of cool. And we also had quantitative tightening finish as well. We'll talk more about that later on. All right, so let's get into crypto then, and we'll do that in a minute. We're going to look at the crypto majors. We're going to deep dive into a few charts. Fixed, says Brennan. Woohoo! Yeah, absolutely. Good to be fixed there. You just never know. Sometimes technology falls over and stuff. All right, so let's go over to the crypto market. So at the moment, 3.249 trillion. So still super cheap crypto market, but it's up 2%, 3.25 trillion. So we've got a long way to go to re-rate the crypto market. We've got Bitcoin at the moment is up 2.2%, is at $92,823. And we got Ethereum there up 6.5% at 3,329. So a nice little strong move there on the ETH price there as well. Fast door, you got what's crypto? I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure. Let us know. At number 4, XRP up 1.7% at $2.11. BNB up 0.4% at $902. At number 5, Solana at number 7 up 3.8% at $138. Tron up 0.1% at 28 cents. Number 9, Doge at number 10 is up 4% at 14.8 cents. Interesting enough, there's quite a big move in ADA overnight, 8.4% to 47 cents at the number 11 there. Best performer is Ethereum up 6.5%. Big move there. And we're going to look at a few of the reasons why in a minute. Best performer over the last week is Ethereum up 10.8%. So nice move there for Ethereum. Bodes well there following the Fusaka upgrade and more around the strategic ETH reserves, right? So kind of good. Top 100 performers, we've got Zcash up 35%, sitting at number 27. Hash there, or Providence blockchain, up 19% for the week, sitting at number 70. OKB up 11.7%, sitting at number 52. Fourth best performer, obviously, we've got L staked ETH, liquid staked ETH there, 11.5%, and Rocket Pool. So we've got quite a few of the ETH derivatives there up as well, 11%, so dominating the pack there. along with Ethereum. So look at them all together, all packed up together. Look at them all. Look at all the ETH pairs all packed up together. That's pretty funny. All the way down there. That's quite a lot. All right, so ETH derivatives in the house. Now the top 1,000, we've got Pippin, Humidify, and Treasury. They're all trending into the upside at the moment. In top 1,000 can move around a lot. That list. Midnight, Bitcoin, and Pudgy Penguins are trending, and obviously we've seen Pudgy Penguins and Bitcoin in here quite a lot in the trending overall. All right, so that's pretty much it. Up 2% overall on the market. Bitcoin, let's go have a quick look at that, closer look. And we can see here on the charts that Bitcoin, let's get rid of all the overlays there. We've got Crypto Connoisseur in the house there. What's up, man? Keep your eye on Peacock, says Crypto Connoisseur. How about that? Well, we'll be talking about Peacock later on, and Liberty Swap in particular. So we've got a nice little move going on here. We did have our death cross, remember, back here on approximately the 16th, 17th of November, and we're hoping for a short-lived time there. And so far, the chart's slowly getting there, slowly helping us along. We had a big bounce today, and we went from 89,500 to 94,600. So that's a pretty big range today. What's that, a $5,000 range in today's candle? Isn't that crazy? Yeah, $5,000 now. Sorry, what? Yeah, five for Bitcoin then. Sorry, Bitcoin. Yeah. So Bitcoin. Sorry, and yeah. So let's see how we can get rid of that death cross and make it a blip in the future. So that's kind of cool for Bitcoin. Bitcoin returns at the moment running at about 3% green. So that's what we wanted. We want some green, and we got the interest rate cuts in 20 hours, most likely. So looking good. Everything's looking pretty good for the old Bitcoin. And get our Christmas rally, right? Get our Christmas rally on. Ethereum right now. Let's have a quick look at that. So Ethereum is having a really good day in the office. We had our death cross back here on the 24th of November. I think it was about a week later after the other one, after the Bitcoin. And we're having a nice rise, even a stronger rise relative than Bitcoin's having. And we had a low of $3,090 and a high of $3,400. So it's a $300 range in that candle today. And hopefully this will be a short-lived death cross and back into golden territory. We had a nice little we had a pretty serious retrace, right? So it set us up well for this big next parabolic move, hopefully into altcoin season as well, right? That's the thing. So there we go. That is looking pretty good today. 33.34, and our previous all-time high was 49.55 back here on the 24th of August. So bring on the next one. 5K is kind of the magical mark there that people were suspecting. Will bring us into the altcoin season, as well as Bitcoin dominance falling from close to 60%. So what's driving some of this buying? Well, Tom Lee's given us a few little secrets. I don't know whether he means to, but Tom Lee is on the 5th there. He ended up buying a whole ton of Ethereum. So they'd had some small purchases on the 15th. So just come back to the 7th. The Bitminer Mission bought 110,000 ETH. Remember, they're on their target 6 million. So they're adding pretty aggressively. Bitminer Mission 110,000 Ethereum on the 7th of November. So we're working through November. Then they added 54K, then 69K, then 96. Now they've got an advisor who's a bit of a superstar, and they pay him a lot of money. But he advised them to cut their purchases back down here, and it ended up being perfectly timed pretty much. And so they did that, and then they've been ramping their purchases up about now. And so the 5th of December there, they just bought just jumped up again to 138,000 Ethereum. So this, Bitminer Mission, Tom Lee's not mucking around here. Big increases there, and you can see they're dominating all the recent activity there. So we'll get another lift next week. We'll see what that looks like. But they've been just a dream run for Bitminer Mission and Tom Lee, just making the master moves. So at the moment, they're sitting on 3.86 million. And even though we've got all these other strategic ETH reserves, and many of them have made bold claims in the past, they're either having issues with getting capital, or the risk, the retrace was too disheartening, or they've got some other sort of issues around resolve. But whatever it might be, Tom Lee is he is the knight in shining armor, as he is believing and moving forward with it. So 3.86 million. They're now at 64% of their target of 5%, and of course, as he calls it, the sovereign put, and also give them that network effect And so, yeah, they've still got somewhat to go to 6 million now. So good times for the old Ethereum. They're helping make it happen. Presumably, we'll get some of these ones, buying more. Thinking of the world's, like FG Nexus, for example. These sort of companies in the world. So we keep a lookout for any of these actually being able to come to the party. SharpLink, of course, and Ether Machine. What's the other one there that we're talking about? Yeah, FG Nexus. So we'll see how they go moving forward in terms of buying more. They made some pretty bold claims. So that is pretty bullish news there. So far, there's 6.6 million ETH sitting at about $22 billion in the SER entities. All right, so let's jump on. So if we got these big buying coming in, obviously we've got the ETFs as well. But here we've got the balance on the exchanges. We can continue to see that that's moving down from when they started buying, right? So obviously we had SharpLink there, or GameLink, I should say, buying earlier. But since Tom Lee's been buying, I think pretty much around the 1st of July there, the amount of ETH has just gone down from about, let's round it up, maybe actually we'll take a top there, maybe 20. Well, that was June, so let me see what July was. So about 20.9 million Ethereum sitting on exchanges over the buying time of the SERs, the strategic ETH reserve acquisitions. It's gone all the way down. You can see the purple line all the way down to 16.6 million based on crypto quants data of exchanges. So that's huge. We did see a glitch on here the other day where it dropped suddenly, and I think that was Coinbase balance. So I think there was about 1.9 million at the time. So that's pretty interesting. So we're sitting at about around 16.6 million ETH on exchanges, but that's down dramatically, as we say. So almost 5 million ETH or something. So game on. May these ETH reserves continue to buy, right? That's the play. So that is our summary of the majors and some of the things that's happening there. We've got the interest rate cuts, which is pretty awesome. So let's do a recap of the bullish things that are happening. And I'm going to add one more thing to this list. So let's go through that. So 2026 outlook is looking very good, right? Very good. And it's a perfect time for Richard to seek his glory, right? This is the perfect time. Timing couldn't be better, in my view, in terms of Richard Hart's road to glory with the PulseChain season, making that happen, right? So you're in two camps. You either believe it's going to happen or you believe it's not going to happen. That's simple as that. So we're not going to get into all the all the belief camps, but we're just going to look at the positive scenario of it happens. And so this is the environment upon which it will happen, which is the holy grail. It's basically the holy grail of crypto environments. So 2026 outlook for crypto looks good during the Trump golden age ahead. And so it's a perfect time for Richard to try and make the PulseChain season happen. And remember, some of his comments recently have been, I don't care about alt season, I care about PulseChain season. Also, prior to that, he made a comment about if people hated the 10,000x on Hex, well, they're going to hate the next one. So you got comments like that coming from Richard. So they're the kind of fighting talks, kind of still got that fight and that fire in his belly, so to speak. And of course, he's been posting a lot recently, so that's been very, very encouraging there. We also had on top of that as Dev Bretep also talking about excited about PulseChain season, and maybe it won't just be one season. Maybe it'll be more sustained, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. But that's pretty cool. So Bretep core PulseChain Dev. So some of the cool things, we've obviously got the imminently 20 hours from now interest rate cut looking very, very good. Market excited about that moving up, and we coming off that low base from that retrace from the 10th of October. And we're expecting some more rate cuts in 2026, right? So we've still got that gap, going to have that gap of just under 1 percentage points between the inflation rate and the interest rates, at least the Fed rate. New smart Fed leadership. We're obviously going to have a change of the guard, get rid of Jerome Powell, who's been not very good, pretty bad. And then we're going to have presumably a more dovish Fed, meaning that they're not going to be, they're going to be in favor of QE, quantitative easing rather than tightening, and at least be a bit more adjusting, better timing the market, the economy, and the market much better than Jerome Powell, and of course any Democratic links that he's got into the Democrat Party. Of course, we had quantitative tightening ending on the 1st of December, so presumably we're moving from quantitative easing into a quantitative easing environment from a neutral environment, arguably. So that could be quite aggressive. This will probably very much pick up at the in the second quarter of next year is probably what the expectation there. Although we'll see some balance sheet buying, money printing, balance sheet buying there earlier, and I think we saw a little bit the other day. So M2 monetary expansion will benefit from that quantitative easing from the federal government's contribution there, at least from the central bank's contribution there. So that's going to be a lot more money. So we're going to have lower interest rates, a lot more money around, and therefore you're going to have a lot more money chasing higher yields, and therefore more risk on. So it's a really bullish environment from a financial point of view, and that is what we want. That's exactly what we want. Also, on top of that, we've got an unusual event. This is not a normal event, so this is actually a one-off, really, and this is Trump's $21 trillion that he's raised in capital for investment this year, laying the foundation for the golden age of America. This is a very special thing. In addition, remember under Biden it was about $1 trillion over 4 years. This is $21 trillion inside pretty much 12 months, right? So it's a massive, massive amount of money. Contrast that to, or compare that to the US income, which is a national GDP of about 27 trillion. So it's not far from that. And also the US public debt of 38 trillion, right? So it's a huge amount of money, and it's going to be going into all the state-of-the-art industries at the moment that are out at the moment for the intelligence age. So you're talking about AI and many other categories. The other big thing, of course, is Trump's going to bring back manufacturing. It's not going to be the same manufacturing that was lost. Remember, about 7 million jobs were lost in manufacturing between the 1970s and now. And that was because you had all the liberals and progressives there talking about managed decline in America and helping to industrialize China and all that sort of stuff, Gary, going on. It was all kind of stupid, right? It was very stupid. But that's kind of where we are right now. Now, we've got Trump's 21 trillion in 2025. Now, at the moment, because of this new technology age too, we're able to get rid of the old labor argument. I mean, the old labor argument was you got cheaper labor, right? So you go to China, you go to Asia, places like that, you got cheaper labor, right? So that argument's disappearing because we've got now AI, automation, robotics, which can just go all the time, 24 hours, 27, right? And you can do really advanced engineering at the moment. And of course, Elon Musk has pioneered that, right? The factory has been always the hardest question to do, and that's the one that they've made a lot of advances on. So it's changing the whole game, and that means that you can have a lot of this stuff built in the first world. You don't need to go to second, third world countries or just any other countries for that matter. So pretty big there. Means the jobs are going to be different, but also means supply expansion. And that's the key part, right? So the key part, the difference between Trump's approach and the Democrats, for example, Democrats always doing managed decline, which is a terrible thing, right? Was it the evil dictators rule the ashes is kind of the old phrase. So that's the play. But in this case, Trump is able to expand the supply. He's got really good economists, and that means that they can spend more money and expand the economy and do it in a balanced way without causing too much inflation. So they're really, really good there. Now, the foundations is laid this year, so we're expecting to reap that probably at the end of this quarter and into next year, 26, 27 for the golden age, and this is going to be really cool. The other big thing that we've seen is 100% capital expensing that came out of the tax bill. So not only did we get the tax extension, which Biden enjoyed, right, from Trump's era, enjoyed that for the US economy, and then end up spending a lot of the money and all this sort of stuff. Not only do we have that, but we have 100% capital expensing for companies to go invest for the first year, and this is a game changer, right? So it's enabled a lot of investment in addition to all the other public money raised by the Trump administration. A lot of private sector investment was also made because of this. A big, big deal, a real game changer there. Trump's balance sheet is another thing. So these are one-off events, guys. Because once you go back to the old school politicians, the liberals and the progressives, they destroy everything. They are stupid people. They cannot say how stupid they are. They're really dumb, really dumb. We have them in New Zealand. They completely contaminate our whole system. We're pretty much doomed here. I really don't see any light on the tunnel here. But America, the guys got the luck. You got the luck of the Irish here. It's pretty cool. The Irish could do with their luck back, to be honest. They could do with their luck back. Trump's balance sheet leveraging onshore and offshore. This is unbelievable. This is smart. This is the smart money, and drill, baby, drill. So he's going to be leveraging onshore and offshore. They're doing a lot of surveys, offshore and onshore across all of America, and this potentially even includes any expansion for what we might call the greater United States, which would potentially include parts of Canada, if not Canada, but I think maybe at least parts, maybe Alberta might make it in there during the Trump era. We'll see. That would be the logical one. They've got most of the money anyway, right, in Alberta, and also maybe Greenland, right? Maybe Greenland. We'll see. So question marks over those, but definitely something that Trump's trying to push there, and is actually a master play in those terms. All right, so then we got tariff checks and paying down debt. Now, tariff checks, of course, if you're going to be spending, getting more spending, you need to be able to increase the supply. And as we see, Trump is moving to expand the supply, and so the tariff checks can be used for consumption, or they can be used for expenditure and investments. And of course, that means risk on, right? So this is even more money to pour into crypto, just like we saw with the COVID checks there. Trump's also going to do some stuff like paying down debt. I think there's multiple ways he can do that, and we'll be doing that. And of course, that $38 trillion debt hanging over the heads of America. Now, the only problem with all of this, right, is that when Trump, actually, I'll talk about that at the end. I don't want to front run that too much. Then we've got more stuff coming up, right? No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security from the tax bill. And of course, that potentially will result in some big refunds there as well. And so it's more money to invest, right? More money to invest. So the other thing, of course, we had was the early implementation of Genius Act. That could be as early as, I think, 6 months. So we could see that at the end of the first quarter or something like that next year, maybe second quarter. And the stable coins potentially could ramp up over the period by about $4 trillion. So by 2030, that's based on Secretary Scott Bessent's estimate there. So this all might result in a pretty powerful move over the 26-27, 3 to 5% GDP growth rates. This would be absolutely beautiful. So yeah, we're looking for that. Simone, put a phone call. All right, that's funny. That's funny. Always. So that is kind of the play there. So 3 to 5%. This is mind-boggling GDP growth rates. And remember, the GDP in America is about 27 trillion. Getting anything like this would be absolutely golden, and this is kind of where we're heading. The welfare of Americans already the top, the number one consumer in the world. This would be absolutely massive, right? So it's going to be good, and of course that means wealthier people. It's going to be great. All right, so then we're coming up for crypto. We've got the Clarity Act coming up. That may not make it this year, but we'll keep a track on that with non-custodial and custodial things and issues around that. That's going to be huge. The SEC, of course, has gone full crypto support while still protecting the investor. And so they're looking to help in some way support the tokenization of of the stock market and TradeFi. And we are talking about rapid tokenization of TradeFi and, of course, the stock market and things like that. So this is ginormous. It's really hard to get your head around this, but they're talking about something up to 2 years. This could be a really covered market for the traditional. Sorry, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say something else, but I didn't want to say that word. But we've got some TradeFi that's going to be absolutely ramping up with the old investment money. This is absolutely massive, and I'm going to probably do a video on this because it's a really big deal. So market tokenization there as well. And then, of course, the strategic ETH reserves continue to grow. We saw that with Tom Lee. That is still climbing up there. We'll see what the other players are all going to play catch up on that. And then we're going to have increased ETH scarcity, right, because of all the strategic ETH reserves and all the other demand that's going to be put on ETH. And then, of course, the stablecoin boom with Genius Act, etc., the Clarity Act, and the SEC's tokenization support with the smart contracts. So ETH scarcity is going to get real scarce, guys. Remember, Tom Lee was talking about $60,000 for network value on ETH. That's relative to Bitcoin, of course, as a percentage. And so, yeah, it's going to be massive. Now, if we get obviously increased volumes on Ethereum, that means under EIP 159, we will end up getting net deflation, right, on the actual ETH inflation. So that's huge too, right? Then, of course, that can follow over to PulseChain at some stage, which has already got better burning rates. So, and then it just gets crazy after that, right? So during that whole process and after it, we've got governments, institutions, companies, 401ks, retail, all flowing capital into the crypto, and Ethereum, of course, will be a beneficiary. And of course, a PulseChain tied into it through Liberty Swap and many other bridges and aspects will end up benefiting from that too, as well as the Magic Carpet Ride money that Richard, whoever runs the sacrifice pools controls there. So it's just the golden road to glory, and the perfect time for Richard to make PulseChain season and also get the glory, as it were. So Trump and Richard Hart together, holding hand in hands there, pretty exciting. So that's kind of the backdrop. I thought we'd go through that again. And one of the things that I've got missing off this is actually the banking system, right? So Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is changing the leverage rules. I'm not sure what the status of it is at the moment, but they could potentially open up $2 trillion as well, which would be massive in terms of extra lending. And some of that will probably flow into crypto too, and the markets generally. So huge there. So yeah, that's going to be a big game changer. Of course, that's changing some of the rules around the Great Recession that we had back in 2008, which followed, of course, all the bad lending that happened, because they changed the rules on the lending, right? Made it so that people that really couldn't afford to borrow were borrowing. And anytime there was a little bit of a glitch in the matrix in the economy, then it was going to all start being a domino effect, falling house of cards. We got Brendan says the amount of cyber attacks we have already and now want us to upload face scans to the internet to watch content. Sounds plausible. We're doomed down under. Yeah. So you guys today, I think Straight had the under 16 ID, which is just basically it's not really about under 16. It's about putting ID into the system, right, so they can control everybody. Yeah. So good luck there, Brendan. Good luck. We know what they're doing. So this is what I'm saying. All the globalists still working while Trump's doing the good things. They're all working on the bad plans, right, to control us all, and just for power. It's just all about power. That's it. There's nothing. It's not about protecting 16-year-olds. All right. So RH saves us from this terror, this tyranny. Yeah. We got DGen Hex there. DGen Hexkin in the house there. Superman 555 one PulseChain streamer. I appreciate that, DGen Hexkin. We're certainly the largest channel that is doing daily shows virtually every day. All right, so let's move on. Let's get into PulseChain and let's see where we're at the moment. So we've set up the foundation. We've laid out the land, the roadmap ahead. So it's looking good. You're here at the right time, right place, because we've gone through this year of volatility where Trump's had to lay down the foundation and fix up a lot of problems. Dave 942. Since PulseChain launched on the 30th of May 2023. And we have Pulse at the moment at quadruple 0211, up 11.3%, which is interesting enough, is close to where we were after the first pump the other day, 2 days ago. So we're at 21% of the mean sacrifice price, sitting at about cost price actually from the sacrifice as well, which is the total amount sacrifice divided by the total supply approximately. Gives you about a number about where we are right now, interestingly enough. PulseX at the moment, quadruple 0179, up 18.6%. And we're sitting at about 18% of the mean sacrifice price, pretty close to the damn Pulse price. Look at that. I mean, it's like crazy, right? And we're one Pulse will get you 0.85 PulseX at the moment. Sorry, the other way around. One PulseX will get you 0.85 Pulse. That is where we are right now. Incentive token, the buy and burn at 8.27%. So that's slowly creeping up. Incentive token at the moment, 81 cents, up 10.5%. And we've got Hex at the moment, 3800th of a penny, up at 12% right now. So those are the markets. Let's jump over to the gas prices. We're at 224,000 beats, so pretty cheap on the chain, 0.2 of a penny at the moment. A little bit higher than we have had though, but still super cheap. Validators, 52,344, pretty much what we've had for almost 2 weeks. So it hasn't really moved too much, despite how cheap Pulse has been. So people regret it later on, right? Regret it later on. $84.6 million. So we're up another $2 million, I think, from when we looked at it yesterday. So that's good news. And I think Ether's made a bit of a jump, has it? Or has it gone down? Let me have a look. Oh, no, Ether's gone down further. Yeah. So Ether's gone down. So I had a snapshot. It's kind of old now, 16th of November. So we're now, 24 days away. So 3.5 weeks. And we had 6,300 ETH back then. Now we've got 6,000. We had 18.7 million DAI. Now we've got 17.6. So we're down 1.1 million on the DAI from 3.5 weeks ago. USDC was 15.4. We're now at 16.4. So we're up 1 million. So that takes, shows some of the pain off the DAI and ETH. So USDC has been our saving grace. Coaster is about the same, and USD Tether is down 100,000. So USDC being the saver there. I don't know. Maybe that's due to ramp now and Liberty Swap and things like that. So maybe that's the benefit there. Brennan says no one media company is talking about it. Super. What a surprise! Yeah, because they're all part of the system, dude. They're all corrupt. They're all part of the system. They're all run by the dumb people. The dumb people in society. They really are dumb. They're just dumb. They're just dumb. And they rule the roost. They rule the rest of the dummies that are watching. No one's got a critical bone in their body. Not a critical bone. So that is kind of where we are right now. Let's jump away from there. We got the charts at the moment, 17 million in volume, so not too bad. Not too bad today. Now, what's on the leaderboard there? We've got Chill Whale's been around for a day. That's up 473%. We've got SolidX making a little bit of a comeback here. So that's up 37% at 71 cents, almost 72 cents. So let's have a quick look at that. It's very low liquidity now, of course. It's all been changed around. Bottomed out at 29 cents back here. So it's up 71 cents. So whoever, if you managed to buy that wick, it's up 131% in a week. SolidX. We're Oink Piggy Bank from Piggy Bank, up 35% there. We got Firewhale there as well, along with SolidX up 29%. We got Most Wanted, the second biggest meme token after Peacock, up 28%. We got Peppy, which has bounced back as well. Let's have a look at Most Wanted and have a quick look and see where that is on the chart. It's getting pumped nice. I got the 5-minute chart on. I must have been watching something. But it's up at 8,400 to a penny right now. Let's go to the weekly chart. So it looks like it bounced off just under half a penny. It's now just at 8,400 to a penny. So a little bit of a bounce back there from the Most Wanted team. Pepe as well. That is bouncing a little bit from the local bottom at least. 3 zeros, 3,800. Now at the 3 zeros, 5,300. So a nice little move there. So that's that will be a benefit from the brand, right? The Pepe brand. But none of these have businesses pushing them up like Peacock. Peacock has business, the bridge and the railgun and everything else. LP pools, but these don't. So there's that's a separation, right? Separation. Liquid loans is up 19%. Let's have a look where that is actually at the moment. They've been doing a lot of conferences, right? Spreading the word about liquid loans and PulseChain. Let's go to the weekly chart. We've got the beginning week period. I've got auto that, so it gives you an idea. So bounced off that last week was terrible, right? 6 zeros, 2,200. Now 6 zeros, 4,000 almost. So almost recovered. PulseX, of course, which has been the darling, and that's up 90%. We talked about that already. PC the Greys up 18% versus UFO. RSI oversold up 17%. Zero Trust tied into Peacock, of course, up 15%. Vouch is up 14%. So that's doing a nice little bounce back there. Coming off 4 zeros, 1,400. And now we're at 4 zeros, 2,000 right now. So that's kind of cool. We're scrolling down here. Swarm at the moment, number 23, up 13%. Doubt token, number 25, up 13%. Hex on pump tires, up to 12.5%. What else we got going here? Peacock right now is up 12%. We're making a bit of a move here, actually. So that's up at 12.7 12, well, 12.7. 12, almost 1300th of a penny, almost back up there. We had a few people in the chat there talking about Peacock today. Let's find some of those. I think we've got some up here. Someone was talking about Peacock. Let's see here. There are Crypto Connoisseur. What's up, man? Keep your eye on Peacock. So Crypto Connoisseur, that's a little tip there today. We've got some more here. Matthew Bray says Peacock chart. Yeah, we're looking at it right now. And Valiant says feed the bird, feed the bird. Yeah, so Peacock there making some big moves. Now, that's really the number one meme coin. Ignore the DAI thing. I don't know why they put the DAI on the RH Max thing, but we got Peacock there, utility meme coin, and it is starting to move. And I think it's still being well underpriced by the market, but it's getting sucked up by LP pools and other pools that are appearing it up. So it's slowly getting more stickier supply. But the market's still not quite there. But the chart's looking pretty good. So we've got a little W and pattern in there. I don't know what you think, Brennan. Let me know your thoughts on that. Brennan's our TA guru. RSI's got plenty of room to move on the daily. So we're at 55. So it's looking pretty good. Now, I did put my own prediction in the strategy club. So if you haven't joined up to that, the link's in the video description on YouTube or pinned to the top of X under the Whoop store. You join up through the Whoop store and you can join strategy club just over $1 a day. So really good value there. And you'll find my price prediction for Peacock. At the moment, it's looking almost good. We've got to get over 1.4 cents, and it's off to the races probably. So very cool there. What's the 4 hour say? 4 hour say, oh, it's not quite overbought yet. That's 67, but looks like it might try and hit that mark, 1.4. Nice W forming, says our TA guru. Thanks, Brennan. Appreciate that. All right, so that's where we are right now on the Peacock. So let's have a look at the news around Peacock. We'll get into that because we've got hi friends, welcome to PulseChain, the home of liberty, and they put this comment on here that's got people going. God candles are loading. Say what? God candles are loading? What do they know, guys? What do they know? Is that just a bullish comment or what? I don't know. It's very peculiar.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment because it's easier to get them because it takes less economic energy because there's less of it for sale.
So I don't know what they know, but it's exciting times. 2026 world PulseChain, world domination, full market sin. We've carried the weight for years. Now a moment arrives. A new generation of PulseChain participants is rising, ready to take charge and shape the future. Time to shine. I mean, it's pretty exciting, bullish talk here. Time is on our side. We front run. My favorite collection. I don't know. He's talking about some bad stuff there, but we got move on. We'll move on. Right. So that is good morning from them, and they've been posting out a lot of stuff there. Now this is kind of interesting. So liquidity, I should say, not Liberty. Liquidity of Peacock against Pulse is rising very fast. Well, the price has been moving sideways for a while. It's kind of sideways, right? Now let's have a look at the ratio to Pulse, right? So we'll do that too on the chart. So this is the 15-minute chart. So we're just getting a nice little bit of volume came in there earlier and pushing that up. Kind of cool. Let's look at the 4-hour chart, which is the trader's view. And we can see that we're riding above that turquoise line is the 21 moving average, which is I know is Brendan's favorite. Brendan's favorite moving average is the 21. So we've got Eddie in house there. Hey. We've got Valiant up to the right there with a question mark. We've got Abdul says, okay, let's go Hexkins. Indeed. Let's go. So, yeah, we've got 605 pulse per 1 Peacock right now. And the all-time high was back a little bit a while ago. Well, our recent all-time local high was 753. But we're looking pretty good. We're above that 21. That's very important there on the short time frame. The daily, we're also riding above the 21. So that's very bullish too. So we're riding around above the 21 there, looking good. All right, so that's the daily. Everything looking pretty good with the old Peacock chart there. And Liberty Swap saying that liquidity has reached 700K. And they've got that here from the RH Max site, or RH meme coin site. And you got most below and then pump tires below. So pretty cool. Now, there are about 230 coins now have their LP connected to Peacock. So that's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Circulating supply keeps shrinking, yeah. So if you got supply shrinking and you got this chart looking good like this, then, yeah, it could get pretty exciting on the old Peacock. and it is a utility meme. Now, the key thing is that, one of the fundamentals is that if we got a meme coin on PulseChain that was up in the $1 billion mark, along with the other 8 coins or so that's worth $1 billion in the meme space, that would also be another pillar for PulseChain to put it on the map, right? So that's one way for glory. And here we are. So this is probably the front running opportunity right now, and you can kind of see that there. So let's see what it can do over time. Still got to absorb selling and bring all the cash flow in. So it's still quite a bit of work to do, but looking good. Now let's scroll back up here. So that was kind of cool. Even Somi picked up the fact that they had God mode candles are loading, so they were excited about that. Now, this came out 7 hours ago, so good morning, PulseChain. Railgun routes are stabilized. The next goal is to connect Tornado Cash on Ethereum mainnet with PulseChain. So this is the next big move, right? So we've got Railgun now with ETH and wrapped ETH, but looking to scale it up to stablecoins, also to tie into Tornado Cash on Ethereum, the PulseChain, so coins can move in and out more easily. And of course, this enables the big boys to come and play, and big girls, not big girls, but big boys. Seems fine to say big boys, but saying big girls seems offensive. But it is what it is. So that is coming in. That's coming in there. So pretty bullish. And then it talked a little bit about the technical side of things, so I won't get into that. But that is coming up. So kind of cool. Good things happening. What else we got from the old Liberty Swap there? Scroll up here. Look at a little comment here. Tornado Cash becomes far safer and more private when paired with large set of stealth addresses. PulseChain needs this. Users can move from Ethereum to PulseChain with a simple in-wallet swap that keeps this process secure. So looking good. So Tornado Cash coming up next, guys. We've got even Crypto Coffee, not just Somni, but Crypto Coffee talking about it. Nobody realizes what Liberty Swap just did for PulseChain. That's pretty cool. Cool little video about that. Peacock everywhere. Yeah, be selling peacocks. I guess I wonder if PulseChain store will be selling peacocks there. That'd be pretty cool. At least the PulseChain reacted very well before the crypto market rebound today. I believe the bazooka of liquidity will eventually make its way to PulseChain. I am staying hopeful, focused, and committed to planning our next moves carefully so we can maximize the potential of PulseChain and our protocol for the benefit of everybody. Now, apparently this picture is very popular with the upgraded Lady Liberty, and the bazooka is apparently pretty popular. Team is small and resources are limited, so we focus on what is good, the price first before anything else. There we go. Helsing, yeah. This is beautiful and sexy love. Yeah. All right, so we got all that happening. Look at this one. Yeah, that's pretty funny. It's getting carnage, getting out of control. These memes, which is great. It's if you're gonna have a big meme, you got to have some good memes. Good pictures. So TikTok time to rock there. Bullish. What if we peg tonight? Now I'm not sure what they mean by that. What should we peg tonight? I think there's this play on the pegging idea. LFG. We will squeeze every last drop of liquidity from the market and pour it straight into our coins. We like that. So cool. That is so that's all moving on pretty well. So that is the latest and greatest, I think. Oh no, we got a little bit of move there. ICOs are back. They say this will actually be the biggest ICO season since 2027. There. That's talking about SEC Chair Atkins says many types of crypto ICOs are outside the agency's purview. Yeah, well, that will mean that will definitely spur on a lot more activity. So that is some of the cool stuff happening here in the chart at the moment. Looks like getting ready to rumble on the old chart. That's the pulse ratio, and that is the US price. So we'll keep track of that. And it would be great if that gets anywhere close to breaking out to re-rate. At the moment, the market cap's pretty modest, 10 million. So it's 100x to a billion, almost 100x to a billion. So let's see what it can do. All-time high market cap. Let's have a look at that. This is before we leave the Liberty Swap Peacock narrative. Looks like the 23.8 million. So we've got a while to go. There. That would have been so we've got 100x to go from here. Let's see where we go from there. That would have been 40x. Would it 40x from there? All right. So that is kind of where we are with the Liberty Swap. How far down will you get to? So Peacock at the moment sitting around Number 22, we got pump tires there as well. Doubt token, some other leading pump tire memes, up 12-13%. Let's see here, we got 9mm sitting at number 34, up 11.4%. That presumably will get re-rated as Pulse starts to get on a move. So if Rich Hart's glory train is on the move there, that should be good. Moving further down here, we've got X Game down here. Didn't quite pump with the others as much, but up 11%. Talk about SolidX and Firewall there. Remember from OG WebChef up 11%. For Investor from OG WebChef up 10%. So those are kind of a 10% movers. So we've got 45 coins at the moment, up over 10%. Moving further down, number 49, SCADA up almost 9%. GoPulse up 8.4%, sitting just below 7 cents at the moment. Remember, it was stuck around 9 to 11 cents for ages. So it's down 7 cents at the moment after that PulseChain pullback. Sparta is sitting at number 53, up 8.4%. Teddy Bear up 8%. Zendog up 8% there, and that's got LP tied in the Peacock too, right? Staked ETH, the fork there, is up 8% almost as well. That always tends to be the one that moves a lot with the ETH, I guess, as well. Moving further down there, we've got Pump Tires Die at number 63. That is up 7%. Let's have a quick look at that. Pump Tires Die. It's coming off the bottom there. So it went down to, let's go to the price. And that is went down to 3 zeros 1500. Now at 3 zeros 2300 right now, coming off the bottom from the looks of it. Well, essentially the bottom except for the first week. All right, so that is that one. Not too much happening in that space at the moment. What else? We got Mafia popping up here. So Mafia from Jacob, that is up 6.5% right now, and we're expecting the game must be getting pretty close to final launch, but had a nice little pump back. The low was 4 weeks ago, got to 000 3600, is now at 000 5300 at the big pump today, and the ratio to Pulse, so look at that. Oh, big pump in the ratio. Look at that in the last couple of days. That's a big move there. Got all the way down to 17 and pumped up to 27, now 25 Pulse per Mafia. So that is coming up. So that can't be too far away from a launch. We'll keep an update on Jacob's protocols. Of course, that's Mafia, on-chain bet, and probably next year PUSD ALGO, subject to Signum, Oracle, and Tetra. So that's kind of the play there. What else we got going there? We got P Tiger. Obviously, this has been a popular one of recent times and still looking like a boss. We'll get rid of that Fibonacci. And so at the moment, it is holding up pretty well at 62/100th of a penny, almost just off the highs as well. And the pulse ratio has been looking pretty impressive. Well, a little bit of retrace the last 2 days. Did get up pretty high, up to 354. 294 at the moment. So, and of course, Crypto Tiger God doing a lot of video stuff out there, rising personality on the old PulseChain community. What else there? Trump token, one of the top memes as well from Pump Tires, up 6%. UFO up 6%. Peahen at number, let's scroll down here as well. Peahen number 74. Up a little bit there as well. What else we got? Let's scroll down. So it looks like we got at the moment 91 coins that are green in the green. And then the rest of them, we got Top Hat actually down 6%, which is interesting. Top Hat, of course, tied to Peacock, but is Crypto Coffee, and he just did a video. So I wonder if he's got any plans for Top Hat, because he's not actively. I don't know. I don't really see him actively marketing it. But if he did, then it'd probably turn around pretty quickly. So we'll keep a lookout for the old Top Hat, but it's certainly down at the moment at 1/1100th of a penny. Up token as well from Haunted. Isn't it Haunted? 10 cents right now. That is a Pulse derivative there, 7%. Let's look at that chart. It's obviously down with PulseChain, right? Can't really blame it too much. So what's the ratio though? And there's old up token. Yeah, it was doing pretty well actually on the comeback, but sold down. Look at that, brutal, and then down. So yeah, that's definitely shakes the resolve of the holders, that's for sure. All right, so we'll keep a lookout for that. That's up and up X as well. It's down 8.3%. So both Haunted ones, right? Yeah, not so hot right now. We've got 9-inch down here as well, and so it should be. Right? It should be down here. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. That is down. Oh my god, look at that. the only thing that was really holding it up was the volume from Solidex, and Solidex pulled all the LP, right? So it's at 2.5 pennies right now. The market cap down at half a million there. What's the peak market cap? Well, it would be in the first week or two, but the first week it was something ridiculous. Something just absurd value. Now it's at half a million. All right, so that is that. What else? BBC token, the incentive token for 9-inch, also down 23%. Carnage there. Now, if we go up to the DEXs, we can see that PulseX at the moment is sitting around 15 million, 14.6 million. 9mm is, which is really our only main DEX at the moment, 2.2 million. Then we have the two balancer forks, right? So they've got volume. They're not included in our volume here on the DEX screener. So they've got 2.2 million in the old 9mm, which is 2x what it was doing, right? It was doing about 1 million. So it's pretty cool. 9-inch, which we don't really talk about too much anymore, is 119,000. And there's a lot of bad talk about, very controversial now. I don't use controversial very much, but that's as a word, but that's definitely happened. We look at the volume. Most of it's on the 9-inch token itself. Previously, it used to include a lot of Solidex volume, but that is no more. So yeah, that's kind of it at the moment. And then we have the two balancer forks, right? So we have the Coast one and we have the famous one. Was it P-Hux? Was it P-Hux? 9-inch fell off a cliff. Disappointing. Yeah. And there's some apparently on live stream too. They was talking about bad things that they actually did or something. So it doesn't sound too good. Like I said, like we don't. There's not a lot of real DeFi around, so you have a lot of middlemen, even leading the team. So it's really a lot of the projects are only as good as the people running them, right? So some people running them can be real shysters, real shysters, as we find out from time to time. But other teams have great people running them, and there's the ones that tend to do well. So is it really deciding whether the tokenomics is any good or whether the person running it's any good? Okay, let's go Hexkins. That's the one. Yeah. All right. So that's kind of it at the moment. Let's pull out the charts a little bit, shall we? So how are we doing for time? We're doing 52 minutes. We've got a little bit more time. So let's pull out some of the charts for PulseChain and Hex. And we'll also do Rat Pulse as well. Let's see how we're getting ready. So Richard Hart's Road to Glory, right? Richard Hart's Road to Glory. So obviously we've got a bit of a comeback happening at the moment in the charts. A relief rally from the Prevex, no doubt. But we have got the interest rate cuts coming up, maybe in about 19 hours' time. So that's the weekly chart at the moment on Pulse. So we just bounced down there at the moment. Oh, let me go. That's market cap. Let me go to price. Let me go to weekly chart. So that's kind of our recovery there. Now that purple box, of course, is the SEC. That's how long the SEC was hanging over PulseChain. Isn't that crazy? So it really does put the Pulse chart into perspective a little bit when you think of it like that. So yeah, people can make jokes, and Ivan on Text of the World can make jokes and all that sort of stuff. But actually, it's a long time that SEC was hanging over the dark clouds over PulseChain, and so. We had a relief rally out of that, of course. We can see that. And then we've been coming down all the way. Of course, we had Prevex there, getting the Band-Aid off, Richard Hart's strategy of shaking out the last weekends, arguably getting ready for the PulseChain season, right? So we had a nice little rally back here. We got down to quadruple 1472 last week. And then this week, we're up already to 2100. With a high this week of 2340, which is kind of cool. That 2340, let's go to the daily chart. You can see on the RSI, we've got plenty of room to move for the PulseChain season and the Road for Glory for Richard Hart. So we've got a nice setup, and we've got a nice setup for that. So let's have a look where we were on the daily. So, we've had 1, 2, we had a little bit of a gap there, 1, 2, 3. So 5 out of the last 6 days have been green. Yesterday we had this that big pump day, and today we're already climbing towards that. And that's what I said is most likely to happen. What did I put it at? 75%, 70%, something like that. That was what's going to happen. That's what has happened here. We also got on the short term, we got the 21-day moving average. Sorry, the 9-day moving average in pink, and the 21-day EMA there in purple, which I normally have as the 34. So I just don't know why it's got 21. But that's we're over the 21 day, so that's really important. And we're really getting into this key zone here that, in my view, we want to pass, right? So we want to get past that. That will get us past this previous high back here on the 19th and get us over the 50-day moving average of 23.30. So, we need another green candle for that. So fingers crossed. We've certainly got the room to do it on the RSI. We're at 53. And if we can get over there and maybe consolidate in this zone somewhere above this green box and above the 50-day, then that would set us up. We just consolidate a little bit there. But, we've got the interest rate cut, so that's really bullish. So presumably we're going to do it. Presumably we put that at a high probability that we're going to do that. And so we've got all the right stuff there for that to happen. So that is Pulse still looking pretty dang good right now. All right, PulseX at the moment. PulseX to Pulse ratio obviously has been doing pretty good recently. Look at that. So that's pretty cool. So everything else is kind of leveraged to Pulse. So Pulse is like the ocean of PulseChain, just like Ether's the ocean of, and everything else is kind of like ships. It's kind of one analogy I like. Valence says inglorious bees. Brennan says all you had to do was look at the founder, lol. Oh yes, that's true. Yeah. Well, we're no drama channel, so try to avoid those comments. I went as far as I could with that. going too far. But that is where we are right now on that. So let's go to the price of that. So we've got price and the Pulse ratio there. So we had this big long run there. So mad gains, getting a lot more Pulse for holding PulseX. Got all sold all the way back down to a ratio of 58. So one PulseX got you 0.58 Pulse. And now it's all the way up to, in the last week, we spiked all the way back up here. Look at that. We didn't get to 1-to-1, but we got up to 95. And now we're at 81. So one PulseX get you 0.81 PulseX. Sorry, one PulseX get you 0.81 Pulse. So that is back on track almost. So that's what we'd reasonably expect to see, right? So with relatively low volumes, relatively still inflation on Pulse, but always deflation on PulseX, and lifting volumes a little bit, return. This is always going to be the leverage play. So that's kind of the mark there. Let's bring up INC first. INC at the moment sitting at, I don't know if I switched it around on everything, but we got US price there at 8.78 cents. We're only 50 on the RSI, so there's still plenty of room for that to move as well. So everything looking pretty good on the interest rate cut. And we know Richard likes interest rate cuts too. So everything looking pretty good there. And I don't know whether the Liberty Swap God Mode candle thing was a little Blues Clues or not, but let's see. Really get anything happening in terms of God Mode territory. There are some likely dates. Interest rate cuts are one of them. New Year's Eve is another one, right? The 10th of January is another one. There's kind of possible dates from the Richard Art. We'll see. So here we got 0.78 on there at the moment. Heaps of room to move. There are some always big holders of all these coins, of course. So the same thing applies, subject to whale activity. We've seen whales move PulseChain a lot, especially with lower liquidity. So hopefully we've shaked out a certain amount of them. But you just never know, right? There's a lot of big players in the sacrifice set, so let alone new players. So that's kind of where we are with the let's look at ratio. 37,900 is the ratio now. Let's go to the weekly. That's the weekly chart there. So not doing too much. Now with PulseX and Pulse, of course, we've got the Master Chef contract running the PulseX. And so whether that ever gets handed over as in the code, it will be a question mark there. If it does, I'd like it there to be single side staking or something that's going to be bullish to do that. Otherwise, there's kind of no point. So we'll see what happens in that space. It'd be cool to have a RH product there, and then maybe the DAO operating. That'd be kind of the way. But I don't know whether it could be a long time coming for that. That's a question mark over that. It's definitely one or two of the chess moves that Richard can make, but question mark over whether he will actually pull that trigger, if ever. So there we go. We'll see. That is the Hex right now. And someone came in about Hex. Who was that? Someone came in talking about Hex. We'll post that. Someone posted about Hex, but it's funny, whenever you want to look for it, you can't find the comment. So I don't know what it is. I guess that's as close as it gets. Let's go Hexkins. Yeah, I think that might be an app from Abdul. All right, so yeah, we got the price. It's all defaulted back to the wrong setup. So we got Hex at the moment at 3600th of a penny. Super duper cheap, guys. I mean, you can see in the chart here on the weekly. It's on PulseChain. Yes, last week we got down to as low as a quarter of a penny. Can you believe it? Just over a quarter of a penny. And we've been as high this week at 4,400 of a penny. So yeah, just a good zone to buy. A nice little zone to buy there. For the Hex, not much else to say about that. And of course, eHex is good too, right? So it's been at 1/10 of a penny. I think 1100th of a penny. So eHex looking good too. Presumably, FlexNet from DipCatcher will launch either at the end of the year, or is my guess. I don't know. We'll see. He's been holding off, I think, for market sentiment, but I think that's coming up. That will be a good thing for eHex. And they've got small liquidity pools, right? So easy to pump to. So, and if ETH starts on a run as well, could all be pretty good. So eHex there still looking like a good pickup as well. All right, so let's jump away to Prevex and see what the market's results are like. We're an hour and 1 on the live stream. Let's have a look at the Prevex sacrifice here. So 18 minutes to go in the day, and we're on day 28 right now. So we're going to be starting day 29. Day 28 right now is $1.53 for the base rate plus the volume rank multiplier. And so $1.50. And so we're starting day 29 in about 17 minutes. And that will be a rate of $1.62, just over $1.62 for the base rate. So really starting to climb now. And this is really the back end of when we typically see anyone sacrifice, right? Now, it all depends on your speculative position, but we get less of a very small slither of people thinking about the X returns, because you're playing a much higher price there. So at the moment, we're at $15.8 million. So looking pretty good there. 15.8 million. And that's probably only gone up slightly from yesterday. Richard Hart did put a post out, didn't he, earlier about the Prevex sacrifice. So I'm not sure if I've got that here. Bam. And yeah, he's put that out 6 hours ago. And at the time, it was 15.97. So we're at 15.8 at the moment, 15.8. So moving around there a little bit, probably with the value of the Ethereum and stuff, presumably. So yeah, we had it says, tell me how it's working for you. If it's not, give details. Please try the website indirectly without clicking it on Twitter, etc. So yeah, what else? I think that's kind of it from him. So Prevex there. So we got 15.8 million. We're at 313 billion points, 13,000 sacrifices. So I guess that's a milestone. Just been hit, 13,000. Top pool is the Prevex pool from the Buckamentals guys. It's at 5,319,000. So it looks like it's only up about 17,000 from yesterday. So we're only creeping up now, aren't we? We're just creeping up. There's not really much adding to that. And then the rest of the wallets there, probably not much change there either. And then in terms of the chain there, we've got Ethereum at 11.4 million. We've got PulseChain at 3.6 million. So not too much change there from what I can tell either. So only slight increase there on the previous day. I can't remember what I said was the previous day, but it's only slightly above whatever that was. I think we're at 15,750, but I could be wrong. So we might be up only about 48K or something. But yeah, I haven't got the base right there. Don't remember it exactly. We've got Sean O'Malley in the house there. Morning, chats. Morning. So it's really only creeping up slightly. And so PulseChain's able to move up. It's kind of the play. I might take a few little snapshots of this just for a reference point for tomorrow. I'm not posting them on X anymore because they're really not, the sacrifice really not moving up very much, so it's not really that relevant. Let's go to the leaderboard. Actually, let's go to the leaderboard. Take a snapshot of that. We're doing it live. We're doing it live, guys. Doing it live. So let's scroll that over. Bam. Actually, let's do that part there. All right. Now we'll have a reference point for tomorrow. And we'll go to recents, have a look at the blockchain. So yeah, I know some people were talking about whether that money on the ETH chain that got sacrificed will end up pumping back over to PulseChain. Well, might do. See. If Richard would use it for good, I don't know. So we do have a rising price floor, even though the prompt got sold into from the JEETs the other day. So the JEETs sold it down a bit. We do still have a rising price floor, and the chart's still looking pretty good. So fingers crossed, and we've got the interest rate cuts. So it is what it is. So that's pretty much it. The highlights there. What else? I think that's it for the moment. Now, the next projects, of course, we're expecting to launch are from Fast Abdul. So Fast Abdul has got the Vault project launching soon. It does look, he said soon, so presumably it's going to be, presumably it's going to be pre-Christmas launch. So that could be coming. And so, yeah. We will see. Just have a look. Some of these. Look at this. That's pretty funny. Give that a like. So yeah, it's got. We've got the next one is of course Vault, the multi-chain, multi-collateral liquidity fork. Pretty awesome, coming from Fast Abdul. Really nice there, becoming a leader in the industry on stablecoins is the old Fast Abdul, at least with the liquidity setup. So we got two real new pioneers now on the old stablecoin front. We got Fast Abdul, and we got, of course, Jacob doing the PUSD ALGO, decentralized algorithmic stablecoin, and could be the holy grail as a solution there. So they're all, even algorithmic stablecoins are all hybrids. They're kind of hybrids, right? But it's got new tech with stability miners, and that is really the secret sauce there. But still needs some form of collateralization. Now, I think it's going to be help with the scalability on PulseChain in terms of getting stablecoins moved around. There's always been the big problem with liquidity forks. It's over collateralized and they all get put into the platform. So they're really not doing much of an economic impact from that point of view. Great for DeFi yield, but not really big on that. And of course, so we want more. We want something around that space. So, yeah. But both of them offering different benefits. So it's kind of cool. All right, the other one, of course, is Racker Michelle. I think I've still got this one here, and that is coming up. We've got Coin Mafia, and we can see an hour ago he just posted this premier multi-chain launchpad. Create, trade, and launch tokens with bonding curves across all major EVMs, and that is coming up as well. So we're excited about that, and it looks very cool with the Coin Mafia. It looks great. People will like that, I think, and that will be trendy. And that's what you want. You want to catch attention, right, with the marketing as well. You can make a great product, but you got to do great marketing promotion. They go together. All right, so kind of cool. 10 hours ago, we got this one too. Coin Mafia is superior. It's not just hype. The design solves real flaws in other market offers. Here's a research reasoning backed by the mechanics. So that's kind of cool. And it's got a whole thread on that, which is pretty cool. Now, we might cover that in another stream, but we're already just about finished the show. So we're going to leave that today, but that is worth a read. Go give it a read if you want to have a look. Those are the two next big ones expected to launch. And then Coinwell, also from Rack and Michelle, coming up, a full DeFi ecosystem there, also based on around a liquidity fork and swapping pools and farms and things. So it's a big deal. That's huge. And then presumably Tetra and Signum, and that should wrap us up for the big five for the year, I think. Did I say five? Big five after Liberty Swap, Railgun just launched, right? So, and then of course, I don't know. They were talking about Tornado Cash into next year, beginning next year, but maybe Tornado Cash is going to make it out before Christmas. We'll see. We could be getting a huge Christmas present there again. So big shout out there. All right, we got Crypto Jacks with the Superman. Smash that like and subscribe, absolutely. I hope you guys have enjoyed the daily coverage of PulseChain. Game on. Let's get ready. And don't forget the monster thread's out there today. So if you haven't read that, definitely get out and read that. All right, that's hot off the press. Only been out for about less than 48 hours. So the monster thread there, publication of the Crypto Night Show, along with editor-in-chief MVS Crypto, does an amazing job out there, and also the promotional lead for the Crypto Night Show. So if you're a team out there, you want to get promotional support, because there are only at least 3 groups that offer promotions out there, and we're the best. So cheapest and the best. So get out there and on that one. So there we go. That is MVS Crypto and the Monster Thread. As I say, you can make the greatest protocol in the world, but people are not hearing about it. Crickets there. All right. So as always, many thanks for the alpha. Superman, you're most welcome, Valiant. Appreciate it. And always appreciate the community support. There we go. MVS Crypto and the Monster Thread. Check it out and hit them up if you want anything around promotions. There we go. All right. That is that. Shall we finish the show? I think we should. All right. Take care, everybody. Catch you guys tomorrow. We'll have interest rate cuts tomorrow. We could be pumping even more tomorrow. Keep a lookout for that. PulseChain season coming. Richard Hart's Road to Glory is in play. And I hope I made a pretty good case for that today. All right. Take care. And bye for now. No, I pushed the wrong button. All right. Peace out. See you guys.